Welcome to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by LA's First Choice Auto Auction on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. It's your chance to hear directly from the head of Lion Football. Now, live from Topala Catering in downtown Hammond, here's Alan Waddell.
The Southeastern Lions were off this past weekend and now has 5 big games left, with all of their goals still in front of them. And one reason that's true is the Southland Conference is as wide open as I can remember. Undefeated Nicholls State went to Sam Houston State and got shut out this past weekend, leaving every team in the Southland Conference with at least one loss. Currently, Southeastern sits at 3-3 overall and 2-2 in the Southland Conference, and head to a much-improved Houston Baptist team this week. The Lion defense will certainly be challenged on Saturday as HBU quarterback Bailey Zappi is leading the nation in passing yardage and passing touchdowns, and Houston Baptist is currently third in the nation in scoring offense at 43 points per game. So if Southeastern is going to stay in the conference race, they must go to Houston and play well against the Huskies on Saturday. Good evening, Lion fans. I'm Alan Waddell, and I want to welcome you to Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by the Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction, live from our home, Topala Catering, right here in Hammond. Thank you so much for joining us wherever you may be tonight, whether on the Lions Radio Network or watching live on the Southeastern Sports Network through YouTube. We'll be with you until 8 o'clock, and over the next hour, we'll get Coach Scelfo to catch us up on what's going on inside the program. And because of the bye week, we have a couple of guests for you. Lion basketball coach David Kiefer is here, and we'll hear from him. Also, running back coach and passing game coordinator Kerry Joseph is here, and we'll get his take on HBU. Then we'll get you ready for HBU here later on our program. So let's take a break. When we come back, I'll be joined by the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, Frank Scelfo. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo is presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topala on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
What do you love most about being a student athlete at Southeastern?
So I chose teammates for life because on our golf team, nobody's from the same spot, but the friendships we've made, once we graduate, I know we'll always be friends, we'll always see each other, we'll always come back and visit.
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topala on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. At this time, we're going to welcome to the show the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach Frank Scelfo. Coach, thanks for being here this evening.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Appreciate you having me. Thanks for everybody being here tonight, too. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, this past weekend just kind of felt like something was missing. Didn't have a football game to go to on Saturday. I mean, this is kind of our second bye of the year because of the whole Bethune-Cookman situation earlier this year. But I guess you got some things accomplished. There's always a bye week, especially in the middle of the season. Certainly
this is a good time.
This was a good time.
This is a good time. Last year our bye week was just prior to the Nicholls State game, and you've already done everything by then. And then this one early in the year, the Bethune-Cookman week, we didn't have anything to really get ready for. But now this was right in the middle of the season. You got some bumps and bruises. You've evaluated your team. We got some younger guys that are starting to step up a little bit and play. And we got them a bunch of reps this past week. So, like today's practice last week, and I told them we stacked 3 practices on top of each other, which were really good. This kind of feels like we're coming out early in the season and it's week 1 again.
Yeah.
And there's a 5-game schedule right in front of us. It starts with Houston Baptist, and there's a lot of energy right now. So it was good. I told you I love this team, and I'm excited about the guys and what they're doing and how they're approaching this week.
Well, that was going to be my next question is where you're at with your team. I know you go into the bye week on a little bit of a tough stretch there. You lost the last couple of games to McNeese and Incarnate Word in some tough, close games. Where is this football team right now? Do they feel like they can still get back in this thing and compete for this conference?
Absolutely. We talk about it, and you just need to show somebody a path.
Yep.
And when you show them a path and how we can work, then the excitement comes back into the room. And our guys were disappointed after the game. And on Sunday and Monday, everything was kind of they were down. And they should have been. We were. The staff was. But, you grab everybody up and you say, you know what, if we had won or if we had lost, it doesn't matter. We got to get back to work. And on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we got back to work, had early morning workouts on Friday, and the guys just attacked it. And it was so awesome. We gave them Saturday off. We had a big dinner last night. They came in and then started practice again today. I was blown away. I'm so excited about these guys and what they're doing and how they're approaching this thing.
Coach, if you look at this thing, this may be as competitive as the league has ever been. You went the last week. Sam Houston hosts Nicholls State. Nicholls came in there feeling really good about themselves. Came off a big victory against Central Arkansas a couple of weeks ago. They go in there and they get shut out. So now every team in the league has at least one conference loss. I mean, we have 5 weeks left, and these next 5 weeks are going to be very interesting because
everybody's playing everybody. Right?
It's just this thing's about to get really jumbled up.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we talked about the parity in this league, that everybody's upgrading who they are, and they want to be competitive, and you got to go out and play each and every week. And I think our out-of-conference opponents, we've done a good job with scheduling the guys in the conference and winning some of those games. Us beating Jacksonville State and Nicholls going on the road and winning a game, and Sam doing the same thing. So us winning some games outside the conference has put the whole conference in a position where we're getting some national recognition.
You look at just the competitiveness of the league. I mean, Northwestern State brings UCA down to the wire.
2-point conversion with a minute and a half left.
They go for 2 to try to win the
game. Absolutely. So everybody can win. I told you, you can win every week or you can lose every week if you don't bring the A game. And we feel like we didn't do that the last couple of weeks, but that's behind us. And we just know going forward, just play. Do what we do, and let's take care of the football and go play physical brand of football, and the things will work out for us.
I know you talked last week here on our show that one thing you wanted to do was get some guys some quality reps in a week of practice. It was almost like a training camp again. Did you get that accomplished this week?
We did. I think offensively, Kendall Collins got a bunch of stuff. We got a bunch of reps in at the running back position. Brakeem Wicks at offensive line, and then Michael Corner and Ed McGee, our 2 freshman receivers, just got a bunch of work in. And that'll continue this week because they're developing, they're growing. And then defensively, obviously our linebacker core is where those guys are so young with Alex Huzar and Herm Kristoff and Davion Nasri and Gerald Henderson. All those guys, they're just young pups back there running around. Justin Douglas got a bunch of reps. He's the backup behind Xavier at the star position. And then Dontrell Smith, when you looked at last week, DeJohn's normally a corner. He played safety. Xavier's the nickel back. He played safety. We moved Philando in the nickel for a while, put Dontrell in. So there's been some injuries and stuff in the back end that we're having to piece some things together, but it seems like everybody came back, and we're getting all that back together again.
Well, one thing bye weeks are certainly good for is getting people healed up.
Yeah.
I know we had some guys nicked up a little bit. Do you feel pretty healthy going in this week against Houston Baptist?
As healthy as we can be. The sprains and the strains, those are still there. It's that time of the year, but we feel I think our guys feel good. I think our Alex Bowers and the training staff has done a fantastic job. We gave them off this weekend, but The guys that needed treatments came in. We kept the training room open all weekend, which shows you the commitment.
Yep.
When you got guys like that, and Alex, anyway, we can get treatment for him on Friday and on Saturday and on Sunday. And he says, tell me the time. We'll have it open. We'll have guys in there. And that's what happened. So that's what the whole teamwork process is about. And it allows you to be successful. It gives you a chance.
To kind of run through these Southland Conference standings quickly just for our listeners, maybe they haven't been paying attention, but UIW and Sam Houston are 4-1, Central Arkansas 3-1, Nichols 3-1. Abilene's already played 6 conference games. They're 3-3. Well, we've only played 4, so that just shows you how the schedule is going to play out. But we're 2-2, so we're 1 game back. I mean, you're literally
right.
1 game back of the leader of the conference championship. So we have a long way to go here. These final 5 games. That it also just means that every game's that important, and it's going to start this week with HBU. We're going to talk a lot about them here on our program.
Yeah, there's no chance to stumble anymore. I mean, it's kind of laid itself out, and everybody's jockeying for position. But these games are going to be so important. When you look at who else is playing who this coming weekend and the next week, and who's on the road and who's at home, all the way through to the rest of the season, you realize that nobody's got a chance to stumble. You better stay on top of your game, and for us to have an opportunity to win this thing.
Just to let our listeners and our fans know as well, to be eligible for the FCS playoffs, you've got to have 7 Division I wins. So we have 3 wins, and we have 5 left. So you really need to win 4 of those games to have an opportunity, because we got that Bethune-Cookman game not being played could come back, but certainly, hopefully, that's not going to be the case as we go to the future. And obviously, it's all about the next game. And the next one is Houston Baptist. It's the most important one. We're going to talk about those guys here in just a minute when we come back. To tell you what we're going to do tonight, I previewed it earlier, but we have some guests here. We have
bunch
Kerry
of
Joseph.
Stuff, right?
Yeah, we got a lot going on.
We
didn't have
celebrity night. This is celebrity night here, man.
So we have Kerry Joseph here, running backs coach, also passing game coordinator for your offense as well. And then we're also going to let you hear, for the first time, new head basketball coach here at Southeastern, Coach David Kiefer. He'll be with us in about 15 to 20 minutes. So make sure you stay with us all night long. We're going to have a lot of guests. We're going to break down HBU. We got a giveaway. I think we're going to give a signed ball away by all the basketball players. So
Beautiful.
The 2019-2020 basketball team, they have a signed ball. We're going to give that away to one lucky guest here in attendance.
Dr. Crane's here tonight.
Dr.
Our president,
Crane.
University president's here.
No doubt.
Junior Matthew, our tax assessor here in town, is here tonight. I'm telling you, it's a celebrity night.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Houston Baptist Huskies, as that's the Lions' opponent for this weekend, as Southeastern will be on the road taking on HBU on Saturday afternoon. Right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Before the house, before the office, the late nights and new bosses. Before the last hugs, the wins and the losses. Before building the team, before building yourself. The rise and grinds, all day, every days. Before the letter, before the dream, there was a kid who loved to play. If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
What opportunity has Southeastern provided you that you will forever be thankful for?
Southeastern's giving me the education I need for my future. Whether or not I go pro, I know I'm going to be successful.
The Southland Conference, 13 member institutions, over 4,200 student-athletes, achieving success in the classroom while excelling in 19 NCAA Division I sports and making a difference through serving others and giving back to the community. Determination, hard work, commitment, excellence, and collaboration. Together, we are Southeastern!
All right. Welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Coach Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. I'm Alan Waddell. We'll be with you till 8 o'clock tonight, getting you ready for Southeastern's game this week as they're going to be on the road, a 2 o'clock kickoff at HBU at Houston Baptist. So the Lions have a chance to go on the road and pick up a victory. And Coach Scelfo, when you talk about Houston Baptist, you got to talk about their offense. They get off the bus throwing the football. They want to throw it, and they're going to throw it a lot. They come into this game with their quarterback, Bailey Zabby. He played against us a year ago. He's played a lot for them. He's
Absolutely,
a junior, so he's played a lot of football. Right now, he's leading the nation in passing yardage and passing touchdowns, and Houston Baptist is currently third in the nation in scoring offense at 43 points per game. They're a high-powered offense, and they're going to throw the football.
They are. They take shots down the field. They'll lull you to sleep with some underneath stuff, but they really want to take shots down the field. They got a couple of receivers that I think are really good. 22 and 8 are their two go-to guys. 22's more explosive. 8's a possession guy, but they send him – he runs a lot of seam routes. He's fearless running through there. So he's taking some shots this year, catches everything. I think those two guys that's kind of like the catalyst. But it all goes back to the quarterback position. He did a great job against us last year. He's done a good job against everybody he's played. He doesn't throw a lot of interceptions when you look at the number of throws that he's having to take. He gets himself out of trouble, Alan, and I think what he does is put those guys in a position because he's been in the offense now for 3 years. He's able to check plays and get out of some things from a protection standpoint, and he keeps from getting hit. He doesn't get a lot of you don't get to him a lot. He gets the ball out of his hands quickly.
Just to let our fans realize, again, how much they're throwing the football, they've thrown it 413 times through 8 games, so over 51 times a game they put it up. They put it up 69 times against Incarnate Word a couple of weeks ago. So this is probably not going to be a short football game, as there's going to be a lot of balls in the air, and your defensive backs are going to come ready to play.
We got to catch some of them. Yeah, that's what we want to do. The emphasis has been on getting some of them. So we got to hope he throws us 1 or 2 and gives us an opportunity to catch him, and then we catch him and do something with it. But I think all of these possessions are so important, and when you give them for us to be able to not turn the football over and pick up first downs and keep them from being on the field, don't give them that extra at-bat, and then for us to take away some of theirs with a turnover or something like that, that's the advantage that we got to make sure that we take advantage of that.
Lions have had good success against Houston Baptist, 5-0 against HBU since they've joined the league. Last year's game, if you remember, was a crazy one.
Nuts.
We jumped out to a big lead, and I think that if you learn anything about last year's game was that no lead was safe. And we jumped out to a big lead.
Guys, right.
They came back. They actually had a chance. If they get a first down, we stopped them on a third down.
Well, they took the lead in the fourth quarter, And
they have an opportunity to basically kneel the clock out if they get a first down. We get a stop, and we score 14 points in the final 40 seconds of the game to win it 62-52. But this is a team that you knew that would improve over the years because of where they are geographically. They have a lot of good football players right there in the greater Houston area. They're dead in the middle of downtown Houston. But this is a team that at 4-1, they were 4-1 a few weeks ago.
That's right.
They took UTEP to the wire in week 1. They went on the road and beat a really good South Dakota team out of the Missouri Valley.
Had UIW, lost by 2 to UIW and 2 to UTEP. So you're looking at a team that even though they're 4-4 now, they could have easily been 6-2.
And they scored 20 first-half points against McNeese this past week. So they can score the football. But this is a much, much improved football team, not only offensively but defensively as well.
Absolutely. Well, the leading sack guy right now, from a stat standpoint, is number 27 for them. He's their defensive end. He leads the conference in sacks. He's from Slidell, played at Brother Martin. How he ended up at Houston Baptist, I don't know. I'm going to try to get him over here somehow. But that's a guy, he's leading the conference in sacks right now, tackles for losses. He's one of the national leaders. So he does a good job. We got to account for him and the other defensive end on the other side. Those two guys make them go defensively as far as them doing some stuff. And then 42, their Mike Backer. I wish I knew guys' names more, but 42, I know the Mike Backer in there has done a really good job. He had a pick against Northwestern. He had a tackle for loss. He had a fumble recovery 2 weeks ago. He's a guy that's kind of their catalyst and gets them going.
You talked about the gentleman you're talking about from Slidell, Andre Walker.
Yep.
He has 14 tackles for loss and 11.5 sacks for the Huskies. And when you play this style of football, when you want to throw the football, go high pace, try to score a lot of points, it sometimes puts your defensive players in a tough situation because they're back on the field a whole lot. So I think when you look at statistics, they've given up a lot of points this year, but they've played better than that at times. What are they doing defensively that you have to get ready for this week?
They're an even front team. They don't bring a lot of pressure. They bring some, but not a lot. They rely on him. Him and the other defensive end, I think, do a really good job disrupting everybody. They did a good job against UIW getting Copeland off the spot. And then when he had to get off the spot, he did a good job keeping his eyes down the field and throwing it down the field. But they got to him on multiple occasions. And when you look at that, that's what their game plan is. Play some coverage, let our guys up front handle the pass rush. And we got to make sure that we got to chip him. We got to add extra guys to him. He flips to both sides, so it's not like we can, check the protection to him. We've got to be able to game plan him from a standpoint of making sure we know where he is at all times. He's a good player, yeah, and people are going to enjoy watching him. High energy, high motor, high intensity guy, and we got to account for him.
Coach, going into the weekend and the bye week, I'm sure turnovers were something that was talked about. I mean, obviously
Always.
That's what cost us the game against Incarnate Word. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But turning the football over and not getting any on the other side, is that something that was talked about this week?
Always, yeah, always. And Alan, I think it's kind of funny that people say, y'all should concentrate on turnovers. Yeah, we do that. I promise you that. But, we do. It's an emphasis all the time. And then I always say they come in bunches. When you get one, man, just all of a sudden they start piling up. But sometimes you give them away in bunches too. And it's a confidence thing that you got to just let the last one go and move forward. And then we've got to be really aware of the football. When we're on defense, we got to be more physical in our contact that we're making with these guys, and then we got to go for the ball. The first guy's got to tackle, the next guy's got to strip, and we got to get some balls out. And if they're going to throw it that much, we got to get our share of them. We got to be able to pick off a few of them. So it's when you go and practice and you're practicing against yourself and the defense gets an interception, you get excited till you remember, wait, that was our guys throwing the interception. So you go, gosh, that's not what I wanted. But it is what you want. You want guys competing at all times. So, the emphasis is there on both sides of the football, taking care of the ball and then getting the turnovers on the other side.
Lions will take on Houston Baptist at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. The game will be televised on ESPN3, and always you can listen right here on the SLU Sports Radio Network. So you can tune in as well. 2 o'clock kick from HBU. Lions are 2-2 in the league. They're 1-3. Both teams really need this one to kind of stay right there.
Yeah.
And again, they're alive for a playoff berth as well. So I'm sure they're
absolutely.
They're trying. This is a big game for them as well. They were a top 25 team a couple of weeks ago, so this is a big one. Coach, you mentioned earlier, before we go to break, I want to ask you mentioned some of those younger guys that really got a lot of quality reps. Maybe some guys that we didn't see in the first few weeks of the year, do we see get amped up? Maybe they're playing time here in the second half of the season.
Yeah, with the new redshirt rule, Alan, where they can play 4 games and you could still redshirt them.
You like that?
I do. I think it gives a chance for a kid to develop. And if you play him in 1 or 2 plays in a game and it burns a whole year, well, you end up holding him out. And it doesn't allow you to develop because when somebody's told they're going to redshirt, they don't work. There's no way they work as hard as they would if they have an opportunity to play. And then there's hope in their eyes. So when they have the opportunity to play in the game and you're able to put them in and get quality reps, they get that experience. And so it's not so foreign to them. We're going to try to take on every freshman. We take them on a road trip or at home just so they can see the routine, get them to understand what we're doing and how we're doing it. Get on a bus or get on a plane or whatever, pregame meals, going through the whole routine, the walkthroughs at the hotel, the meetings, all of those things so that how to dress, how to act, everything that we do so that they understand when it's their time and they start playing, it's not all foreign to them. It's not something that's brand new. And I think I love the rule. I think it's really good. It's going to give us an opportunity to play some guys from a depth standpoint and play some players and then be able to keep them for an extra year.
That's Coach Frank Scelfo, the head football coach of your Southeastern Lions. We're going to actually give him a break for a little bit. We're going to bring up some guests.
Wow,
we're going to talk with David Kiefer when we come back, the basketball coach here at Southeastern Louisiana University, right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Why do you support Southeastern Athletics?
So Southeastern is where our family started. We met my wife here, met all our friends here, and now it's given us 2 beautiful children, and now it's part of our family.
All right, welcome back. This is Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. And now joining us is the new head basketball coach of your Southeastern Lions, Coach David Kiefer, as kind of wrapping up our preseason, getting ready as the season's about to start. But, Coach, thanks for stopping by and spending us a little time with us here this evening.
Appreciate you having me. Thank you.
No problem. And if you're not familiar with Coach Kiefer, he's been here in Hammond. This is going to be his 5th year here, but his first one now as the head basketball coach. I know we're super excited, and I know you're excited for this opportunity to be the head coach for the first time.
Oh, no question. Coach Ladner left it better than he found it. Left a great situation for me. Super excited. Obviously, this is my first year as a head coach, but really excited. The guys have been working their butt off. We got a whole new team. Really excited for you guys to come check them out.
We've got some events coming up Friday nights, the tip-off bash. You actually just had a closed scrimmage this past weekend against ULM. You got an exhibition coming up. First game of the year is against Tulane on the 6th. So it's coming at you and coming at you fast.
Oh, yeah, no question. I just literally ran in here from practice, too. We've been getting it every single day. Like you said, we played Monroe the other day. First, get those jitters, pregame jitters out of our system. We got a whole lot of new guys, a whole lot of young guys, but got to get them going quick.
Well, I'm sure when you become the head coach, it's a lot changes for you. Certainly, a lot more responsibility. Before we get to the team, talk about your staff. I know that you're super excited about the guys you were able to bring here to be on your staff here at Southeastern.
Really excited. The biggest change was, I've told a couple people this. The first week, I think like 3 or 4 times that I became the head coach, I kept going to the assistant coach's office and sitting down and realizing Coach Ladner's not here anymore. I'm like, oh, I got to go down the hall. I'm in the big boy seat now. But no, the first phone call I made was one of my closest friends who's here tonight. He's been a mentor of mine actually. Was his assistant coach as soon as I graduated college. His name's Mark Lieberman. He was the best thing that you can do at becoming a head coach is hiring your staff, and you got to get people that you can trust, people that are really good, people that are going to help you teach. But most importantly, I haven't been a head coach before, and he's been a head coach before, so it's always good to have an older guy with some wisdom on the staff. He
didn't like that. You saying he's old?
Yeah, he's definitely older.
Okay.
But no, he was a high school basketball coach in the state of Florida for 16 years, won about 5 state championships in Florida. Florida basketball coach of the year. Actually was an assistant coach at the University of Louisville. Coached in the Final Four. I was the top assistant at FIU, so he's really been around. And when I got the job here, just based off our friendship, he was really excited about it. The other hire made was a guy named Patrick Schulte, who's been with Brad Underwood for the past 4 or 5 years, I think. Brad Underwood used to be the head coach of Stephen F. Austin. before the coach that's there now. When Brad Under was there, they were 69-1 in conference play in the Southland, and he's been with Brad from Stephen F. Austin, Oklahoma State, now to Illinois. So I'm hoping he could come and bring a little bit of that mojo with him on to hear from Stephen F. Austin and learning under Coach Underwood. And lastly, we just had, unfortunately, Michael Cyprian, who's been on the staff with us past year. He got a job working and training kids out for in New Orleans, and that's where he's from. And we just made a new hire just about a month ago with a guy named Jordan Brooks from the Washington, D.C. area who played Division I basketball at Hampton, and he's been very valuable for us, especially in the recruiting aspect.
You've certainly been a major part of the turnaround in Lion basketball over the last few years. Won a conference championship a couple of years ago. I think most notably, if you look at this season, Marlon Veal's not here anymore. Moses Greenwood's not here anymore. Who are some guys? I mean, obviously Von Julian's back. You have a lot of depth. You have a lot of players that played a year ago, but they have to take the next step and maybe a leadership role this year.
No question. I told the guys yesterday, don't be scared of your fears. If we're scared of our fears, I couldn't be the head coach here. Everybody, he's too young. He's never been a head coach. Don't be scared of that. Embrace that. The younger guys have been unbelievable. The returners. Von Julian is the only senior we have, but there wouldn't be another point guard I'd take in the league over him. He's the quarterback of our team. He's the leader. Everybody knows it. He's the heart and soul of our team. And all the returners, they played a vital role into our season and our success last year. They're just going to have to play a bigger role now, and we're going to be relying on a lot of freshmen as well.
Tell us about some of those guys.
Freshmen?
Yeah.
Oh, we have 7 freshmen, 2 walk-ons. We'll be the youngest team in the conference for sure. We signed several guys from Florida. I'm from St. Petersburg, so I always kind of try to go back home. I've got a lot of good contacts back in Florida and people that I trust that help me out recruiting-wise. A kid named Isaiah Kirby from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, went to Sagemont High School. Big, strong guard, about 6'3", 195 pounds, very athletic, can kind of play the 1-2-3 position. Kid named Byron Smith from Gainesville, Florida, very quick, fast, can just a playmaking guard. Kid down the road, Dutchtown High School, Nicholas Caldwell. He's going to be a very good player for us, very 6'7", athletic. And then we signed 2 international students very late. One is from Russia who moved to Israel. His name is Maxim Romanov. He's about 6'7", 6'8" guard. Very skilled, just got here at the end of August, so he's still just learning everything. And the other guy who I'm really excited about, got a long way to go, but his name's Max Brackman. He's from Germany. He's 7'1", 275, freshman. And he can really run, he can catch. He's only been playing basketball for 3 years, and he's a certified electrician, if anybody wanted to know that. He doesn't even need a ladder.
Coach, a little birdie told me that on the scrimmage against ULM the other day, Pop Jop and Ty Brewer look pretty explosive. I know you're super excited about their athleticism on the front line.
Oh yeah, I think the different styles. I've worked for a lot of people in the basketball world. I don't know if people know. I was a student manager for Bob Huggins, who's now the head coach of West Virginia, and I was a video coordinator under Frank Martin, and I worked a little time with Andy Kennedy, and obviously the past 4 years, and at junior college with Ladner. So a lot of people in our league are expecting us to do the same exact thing as Ladner, which I took a little bit from him, but I've worked for a lot of people, so I try to take pieces from everybody to develop my own philosophy. And Pop and Ty were very big recruits for us when we signed them. The only thing was with Coach Ladner's offense, we run a lot of plays, and it's very offense-oriented and a thinking offense where you gotta know a lot of different things. And Ty and Pop aren't the best thinkers. They're more of let them play free and be athletic. And this year we're doing a lot more press. We're pressing a lot more, and we'll get up and down and less thinking, let them play more free, and those guys will go from playing about 13 minutes a game, where I would be surprised if they're both not all conference players this year.
Well, that was my next question is what does a David Kiefer basketball team look like?
Intense. Full court pressure the entire game. There's nobody else in our league that's going to press the entire game. We're going to press the entire game. We're going to play 13 guys. We're going to be relentless, play really fast, but at the same time, not chaotic. We're not just running out there with like a chicken with their heads cut off. Coach Lieberman has been kind of in charge of our press, and we're very detailed in everything we do. We watch film every single day. We go on the floor. We coach. We teach. We're getting better every single day, and I think that what you're going to see is hopefully the best defensive team in the conference.
Coach, a couple of minutes left. We're talking with David Kiefer, basketball coach here at Southeastern. We're very excited about what he's going to bring to the table and the style of ball they're going to play here in Hammond. Won a conference championship a couple of years ago here at Southeastern as an assistant, and now he's the guy. He's the main guy. He's sitting in the big boy chair, as he said just a few moments ago. You talked about – tell us what's going to go on at the tip-off bash on Friday night.
Oh, it's just to get to know all the guys and the opportunity for the players and the fans to interact with each other and get to know our guys. We got, like I said, we'll have – I think we got 8 new guys this year, and, you know, we kind of watched guys like Marlon Veal and Moses grow up the past 4 years. Now we got a whole new crew in there that you can do that. And most importantly, what we do with these guys are really good people. You know, we recruit good basketball players, but the first thing I looked at in this kid is character. I have twin daughters, and I got a 5-year-old boy, and other people on our staff have kids, and we always want to have people that we'd love to have around our kids and great role models. So most importantly, we got great guys. So we'd love to just showcase them and show them off at the tip-off bash. But we'll also have a silent auction. There's a bunch of different door prizes and things that people can win, and it's a good little atmosphere.
Before I let you go, talk about the schedule.
We open up. We'll play this Saturday an exhibition game against William Carey, who's usually a top 20 NAIA school. They got 10 returners, all juniors and seniors, so we'll be young out there, but I think we'll be okay. Then we open up with Tulane on November 6th at their place. Then we come home with two games. November 11th against Xavier New Orleans. November 13th home against Grambling.
Man, you remember? I was like just generic. You're like going through the whole thing by the date.
Yeah, I got it. November 17th, Mobile at home. November 20th at Tulsa. 23rd at Austin Peay. 25th at Vanderbilt.
I'm going through here. He's on the money.
December 3rd, Lafayette. December 6th, December 18th, Lamar, then 21st, Ole Miss. 29th, Oklahoma State.
You're on a roll, dude.
Stephen F. Austin, January 2nd, Corpus Christi. Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah, there you have it. That's pretty impressive. So
hopefully we can win a ball game.
If you think this guy hasn't done his homework, man, just walk through the whole schedule. He knew the dates and everything. That's pretty impressive. Well, Coach, again, thanks for stopping by. I know we're really excited. I know me personally, I'm excited to see what you're going to bring to the table. And I know how hard you and your staff are working, and we look forward to seeing your team hit the court.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
There's Coach David Kiefer, men's basketball coach here at Southeastern Louisiana University. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have more on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction on Topa on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Why do you support Southeastern Athletics?
So Southeastern is where our family started. We met my wife here, met all our friends here, and now it's given us 2 beautiful children, and now it's part of our family.
All right, welcome back. This is Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. We had an opportunity to speak a little basketball a few minutes ago, but now we're going to get back to football as we are currently right in the middle of this Southland Conference race, and we didn't have a game this week. We're getting ready for this Saturday. We're going to take on Houston Baptist in a 2 o'clock kick at Husky Stadium over there in Houston, Texas. And at this time, we're going to welcome to the show running back coach, passing game coordinator here at Southeastern, Mr. Kerry Joseph. And Coach Joseph, thanks for stopping by and spending a few minutes with us here tonight.
I'm glad to have you. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. And, man, I tell you, it's certainly for somebody who's followed this league for a long time, it was really exciting to be able to get you here. One of the greatest players ever in the Southland Conference Player of the Year when he was a player in this league. So we're really excited to have you here in Hammond. And I guess give us your journey. I know that you had been with McNeese, you played with McNeese, you coached with McNeese, and now you've switched and now you're wearing the green instead of the blue and gold.
Well, I started coaching at McNeese in 2016 when I retired from the Canadian Football League. And coached there for 3 years under Coach Guidry as my head coach. And after we got let go in December, I got a call from Coach Scelfo and Coach Guidry. And, Coach told me he had an opportunity for me here to be the running back coach. And I was out of work, and, it was a great opportunity for me. And I took it and ran with it.
Well, we're glad to have you. Talk a little about your group. I mean, this is a running back group that we've seen that has to be very versatile. I mean, they're very active in the passing game. I know that we're throwing the football to our backs as much as anybody in the country right now. Devontae Williams, Marcus Cooper. We saw the couple of young guys in Kendall Collins and also Teron Jones play well against Northwestern State. But talk about your group as a whole.
We got a great group. It's been a good group of guys that have been very competitive. I try to make it a competitive room. Like I told the guys, you got to compete within this room first before you compete outside of the room. And when you got a veteran guys like Devontae Williams, Marcus Cooper, a younger guy in Teron Jones, who's coming along, who had a great camp this fall, and then a Kendall Collins, a guy that was signed in the 2019 class that you were able to see some flashes with him as he continues to grow in this game. I think the more backs you have, you can never have enough backs in this league. You're gonna have to rotate guys. Guys are gonna get banged up a little bit. The way we sprayed the ball around, the opportunities they get, it's been a very, very good group to coach, and they've been very receptive to the coaching.
I know that with where offenses are right now, especially in this day of age, when you come out of high school, if you're a good back, you better be able to do more than just run the football. That you got to be able to, pass protect. You got to be able to pick up blitzes. You got to be able to catch the football. Talk about maybe some of those younger guys and how they've made that transition. And
you said it right. In today's game with the offense, the way it is, you got to be a 3-down back. You got to be a back that can stay on the field for all 3 downs. And these guys have embraced that opportunity. I challenged them. I told them the first thing that you got to do in this game, you got to block. Running backs, they always want the football, but you got to be able to block, protect the quarterback, and allow him to throw the ball down the field to the receivers. And your opportunity is going to come. When you got a lot of depth, everybody wants the football. You got to kind of get them to hold on to their egos and put that aside for the good of the team. And they have been real good at that. They have been doing a great job of catching the football. They've been doing a great job in protection. And, of course, when they get the opportunities to run the football, they've been doing a good job for us.
We're talking with Kerry Joseph. He's the running backs coach here at Southeastern, also the passing game coordinator. And we've seen this title, a little bit more over the last few years. What exactly does that mean when you're the passing game coordinator? Does that just mean you work directly with Coach Stevens as well?
You come up, you help in the pass game in certain areas. Like I have the red zone and the score zone. Some of the third down looks. And basically what it is a title, but you just work collectively with the offensive staff to come up with different thoughts and ideas in the pass game. I've been blessed to be able to play on both sides of the ball. So I was able to play on the defensive side in Seattle. So I have been blessed to be able to see things a little differently, and I just try to give my opinion. At the end of the day, Coach Steven takes what he's comfortable with and what he feels that the team is comfortable with running, and that's what he runs with. So basically, it's a title, but we all have a say in this deal, and Coach Stevens has the final say.
What's that relationship been like?
It's been great. You know what? He's a smart coach. He's a smart guy. He's a great guy, and it's good to just sit back and learn from people like that. I have a desire to be an offensive coordinator, so I really sit back and look at the way he He puts a game plan together, the way he tries to attack a defense. And I just take my notes, because when you got a guy that's been around the game of football, coaching for a long time, you try to take everything that you can, and you just try to continue to grow. And it's been great to be around him and to work under him.
I'm sure you've had an opportunity. I mean, you said your aspirations of being an offensive coordinator and being able to work with Coach Scelfo as well. I mean, been an offensive coordinator at some big-time places, some quarterback coaches as well.
Yeah, and Coach Scelfo, he always comes in and he does have his I said Coach Stevens has the final say, but Coach Scelfo has the final say if he really wants to come in and put his foot down on it. But it's been great. When you got two offensive-minded guys that can come in and put their ideas together, if you're a young coach, you take everything that you can and you try to build on it, and you just learn. You continue to grow and you continue to learn. If you get to that point where you don't want to learn no more, you need to get out of this profession. And having those guys and being able to listen to the way they go back and forth and where they throw ideas out, it really helps our offense.
Coach, I know that Coach Scelfo, he's been very open about the fact that trying to build this thing with Louisiana players. I know that you're from New Iberia, so certainly you have a footprint down there in that part of the state as well. And what's the message been when you've been out meeting with these high school coaches? I'm sure people that you've known for a long time in those communities, of what are you selling here at Southeastern?
You sell the program and what we're building here, the success we're building this year, the great job Coach Scelfo is doing, and how we want to build that program with Louisiana players. I think it's very important when you can take a Louisiana school that's in Hammond, America, and you can get a bunch of Louisiana kids here. One, is good for their families to be able to get here, to be able to watch them play locally and not have to travel there for. And there's a lot of talent in the state of Louisiana, and that's the best way to build the longevity of an organization, is to be able to build it right there in your backyard.
Lions will take on Houston Baptist this Saturday. It's a 2 o'clock kickoff at HBU. Coach, talk about Houston Baptist a little bit. What have you seen on them on tape, and what challenges do they cause defensively?
They're a good football team. They play with a full down front. They have a good defensive end in number 27 that's he's up there in sack totals, and you have to know where he's at. They have some great linebackers that run, and they do a great job in the run game. They are young in some areas, but they play solid football. They're going to line up. You're going to know where they are, but they play basic, so they can play fast. And we're going to have to be able to play fast, and we're going to have to be able to move the ball, put some drives together, but put points up on the board, because their offense has the ability to score points. So we got to make sure that we maximize every opportunity that we have to put some points up on the board.
Teams that have had success moving the football on them, what are they doing?
They've been able to mix it up. You look at this past game against McNeese. McNeese had some long runs. They had some long passes. Some of them with some missed tackles. So basically what we got to do is be able to, have a balanced attack on these guys, be able to really use our speed to our advantage and really be able to put some points up that way. When we have an opportunity in space, we have to make sure that we have to make them tackle in space.
Talking with Kerry Joseph, running backs coach here and passing game coordinator at Southeastern Louisiana University. And, Coach, I asked Coach Scelfo this, and I want to get your thoughts on it as well. As certainly the last couple of weeks were tough. We lost some close games, some games that, you look back and say, hey, coulda, shoulda, woulda on some opportunities. Where do you feel like this team is right now for this final stretch run of these final 5 games?
I think we had a great bye week, a week of practice during the bye week. Today was a great practice. I think the guys are very excited. They know what's ahead of us. They know where we sit right now in the conference and the opportunities that before us, that lies before us. But they also know it's a challenge, and we feel good about our guys and where they're at in their mental approach and their focus. And we just have to continue to build day in and day out. We know right now it's one game at a time. We always talk to our guys about being 1-0 this week, and that's all we can focus on right now, and take care of things that we can take care of and let the rest fall where they may.
It's Kerry Joseph, running back coach here and passing game coordinator at Southeastern. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending time. We're really excited to have you here in Hammond, and we look forward to the rest of the season. Thanks for stopping by and spending time with us.
Thank you for having me on.
No doubt. We'll be right back right here on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
If If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Why do you support Southeastern Athletics?
So Southeastern is where our family started. We met my wife here, met all our friends here, and now it's given us 2 beautiful children, and now it's part of our family.
All right, welcome back. Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction in Topla, right here on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network, also streaming on the Southeastern Sports Network on YouTube. As we just have a few minutes left to go here on our show, Lions will take on Houston Baptist this Saturday, 2 o'clock kickoff at Husky Stadium over in Houston, Texas. There will be a tailgate by the LAA at 11 o'clock, so it'll be a tailgate over there. Also, the alumni will be handing out T-shirts there, so if you come, and they're going to give you a Southeastern shirt to wear into the game. It's a big game, and Coach, before we get back to that, I want to talk about our guests here just a minute. I know that.
Oh man, I mean, how about David Kiefer?
He knew the whole schedule.
He knew the whole schedule. I don't know who we got next week. We do 1 week at a time, and that's it.
He knew the dates.
I know. I missed my wife's birthday. There's a date for you. I mean, that was awesome. That's just. But I mean, look, when I tell you how these guys coming in. They're getting up early in the mornings right now and working till late at night, and they're here to support us, and that's what the whole department does. It's just a awesome thing. Hey, would you be able to come in on this Monday and spend some time with us, whatever you need? Yep. And you can't it's hard for people to understand just how lucky we have it there at Southeastern with the people that we work with. So it's just so good. And then Kerry Joseph from New Iberia, he's probably the second, a legendary guy from New Iberia after me, and then, because I grew up there. He's a guy that I tell you from day one, as good as a coach he is, he's just a much better person. He was inducted into the Saskatchewan Hall of Fame earlier this season in August, and he's got Hall of Fames, and he's got more records than Stevie Wonder, man. I mean, this guy does everything. So it's just such a quality guy to have on your staff.
Coach, before we wrap the show up, we got to do our giveaway.
Yeah, and we got a clear bag policy here.
Coach Kiefer brought us a autographed signed basketball.
That's
by
awesome.
The whole basketball team.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that.
So go ahead and pull us out a name there, Coach, and we'll throw this thing out there.
There's been some great winners.
We've had some good prizes.
Yeah, there's been some good stuff.
Yeah, we certainly have. There's been some good stuff here on this year.
Good stuff. All right, here we go.
What do you got
there? Oh, that's awesome.
Dr. Crane.
Yes, sir.
Can he put that in his office?
Absolutely.
There you go.
That's beautiful. That is awesome.
So, Dr.
That's one of the greatest things I've ever done, I think.
And no, that was not rigged.
Excited about that. Yeah. I'm okay with that one. Sorry, everybody else.
Coach, we have just a couple of minutes left to go here on our show. Kind of give us your final thoughts of the night. As, you know, we put those last couple behind us. We had the bye week.
Yeah.
Got a lot accomplished this week. And an opportunity now with 5 games left, kind of a 5-game season starting this Saturday at HBU. What's it going to take to be successful and get this thing off on the right start?
I think it's an exciting time for us. It's an exciting time for our players experiencing something new. And they're approaching it the right way. So I'm looking forward to that. We've got to take care of the football. We know that the turnover situation is one we got to flip it, and we got to start getting them and then holding on to it. But at the same time, we want our guys to play free, Alan. We want them to, I talk about playing with clarity at all times. If you know what to do and just turn it loose and love what you're doing, and our guys do that. You watch our guys play, man. They're playing for 60 minutes and they're playing hard physical football. And that's what we want to do. I want them to do it. And at the end of the game, we'll look up at the scoreboard and see what it says. But I know the product on the field represents who we are at Southeastern and where we want to go. And those guys are doing that. And do we make mistakes along the way? Absolutely. But I know there's no quit in us. And our kids are going to finish up this season strong.
Lions will take on Houston Baptist on Saturday. It's a 2 o'clock kick over at Husky Stadium in Houston, Texas. This will be the 6th meeting between Southeastern and HBU. Lions have won the last 5, but this is a much improved football team. Had a wild game here last year, 62-52. Lions came out on top. But again, it was wild a year ago, and they're going to put the ball up. They're throwing the ball over 51 times per game. So Lions secondary, that defense, they're going to have to come to play because they're going to test you.
That's okay. They're up for the challenge. I mean, they're looking forward to it. HBU's are going to hit some plays. We know that. They do it every week, and they got quality players, and that's philosophically, that's their offense. We've got to limit those, and when they do hit them, we got to make them pay. We got to tackle them. We got to get some balls out. We got to pick off a couple of them, and we got to slow them down. And then on offense, take care of the football, and we'll score points. We got some kids who can go down and field and score too. So it's not like they've got the only explosive team on the field. You know, sometimes you get, and I take exception that it's just them, but we're out there too.
Oh yeah,
and we're going to get out there and we're going to play pretty doggone hard, and we got some good players too.
There's no doubt, and if you look at this, I was looking at it before. I should have mentioned this earlier. These are the top 2 scoring teams in the league.
Right.
So both of these teams, your team and their team, are putting up a lot of points, throwing the football at a high rate. We're playing a lot better defense than they have at this point in the season. So certainly, hopefully, that's going to be the big difference is the fact that we could score and stop them from scoring.
It's the turnover situation, and we'll take care of that. We like I said, we spent a lot of time on it, so I'm excited. I love these. I love the kids. We're going to have some people over there in Houston, and so I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Another reminder: 11 o'clock. They will start the LAA tailgate over there in
Houston.
With
Mary Hannah. Yeah, that's awesome. Mary Hannah Johnson.
The alumni is going to be handing out T-shirts over there in Houston, so we hope that you can make the trip. If you can't, the game will be televised on ESPN3, and as always, you can listen right here on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network. We want to thank Coach David Kiefer for being here with us, basketball coach. Make sure you check them out at the tip-off bash on Friday.
Can't wait to see them go, man.
And they'll be getting their season started before you know it. I think on the 6th. He knew it for the exact date, but on the 6th, they're going to play Tulane to open up the season. We also want to thank Kerry Joseph for spending some time with us as well. As guys, we're out of time. We want to thank everybody for coming out here today, as we'll be back with you next Monday from 7 to 8 o'clock talking Lion football. For Coach Frank Scelfo, I'm Alan Waddell. We'll see you next time on Inside Southeastern Football with Frank Scelfo, presented by Louisiana First Choice Auto Auction and Topla on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network.
Broadcasts on the Southeastern Sports Radio Network are a product of Lion Sport Properties. For more information on how you can support future broadcasts, Lion Sport Properties is available at area code 985-549-2570.